In the U.S., 397,122 children are living without permanent families in the foster care system. 101,666 of these children are eligible for adoption, but nearly 32% of these children will wait over 3 years in the foster care before being adopted. A lot of people, upon finding themselves pregnant, consider putting their future children up for adoption. In other countries, they find different ways of getting rid of children that are not wanted. For example, in China, there's infanticide, which is the killing of infants or children, mostly females, and this is permissible in these countries. And then another example would be the baby box system in Europe. Americans don't realize how many children are put up for adoption. Today, there are 423,773 children in the U.S. foster care system, and out of all those children, only 114,556 of these children are available for adoption. These children's birth rights have been permanently terminated, and the children are left without a family. Many of these children are placed in foster care and are never adopted by the time they turn 18, which are leaving them to go out into the world and not have a family or anybody to help them learn things throughout their life. In fact, last year, 29,471 children turned 18 and left the foster care with no families. I know a lot of people that say they want to adopt children, but they never end up really doing it. People get rid of their children in different ways all around the globe. For example, in China and India, they participate in female infanticide. This is where they kill the baby girls, allowing them to starve to death. In both India and China, the male sex is preferred over the female sex. Their daughters are considered temporary family members because they eventually marry, and these countries see their daughters as only draining their family's wealth. One country even quoted, "In our country, babies are considered weaker if they are born female. In some other countries, babies are murdered for being born a female." So unlike America, China and India find different ways to give up their unwanted babies. In Europe, one way of adoption is when the parents, relatives, pimps, or a stepfather leave unwanted babies in a box for someone else to care for. On the edge of the road, there's a sign pointing in the trees that is down this long path. The sign says Baby Wedge, and at the end of this path there's a stainless steel hatch with a handle. When you pull down the hatch, there's all kinds of blankets that are neatly folded to keep the baby warm. There's also a letter telling the mothers or whoever drops them off where they can contact someone if they decide that they want their baby and change their minds. Some mothers decide they want to come back and get their babies after a while. Researchers of this say that when mothers put their children in these boxes, it gives them time to clear confusion about raising a child. So overall, when women get pregnant unexpectedly and feel as though they are not ready to have a family or raise a child, they find different ways to give it up, whether it's like their cultures in India and China where they kill the baby girls because they don't want them, or whether it's like in Europe where they put them in a box and expect to come get them whenever they feel like they are ready to raise a family or have a child. They all are adoption ways. And in the end of it all, you're choosing the life for the baby that you decided to produce.